fun, lots of fun. Welcome, 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 everybody. Great weekend of fishing. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a pressing issue back east that I told you all we would talk about. And I don't know if you guys saw that picture. Kim and Dan caught that fish yesterday off of La Jolla out there rockfish fishing. You can see it on our Instagram. You can see it on Facebook. You got to go check out that fish. Super rare to catch in Southern California. We're having a contest if you know the size and the species of the fish and what it weighed. I'm giving away a free t-shirt, your saltwater guide. Gang, this fish is very, very rare. It's not the East Coast. A lot of people saying snowy grouper and all this other baloney. We don't have that kind of stuff. This is in Southern California, cold water fishery. We don't have groupers in Southern California. We have the black sea bass, but that's not what it is. We have the broomtail grouper, but that's not what it is. Go look at this fish. Super rare to catch in Southern California. And our good friends, Kim and Dan, caught it on their boat yesterday fishing for rockfish. They were using the Promar squid squirts. Yeah, if you want to catch a super rare fish, I would suggest using the Promar rock cod squirts because Dan and Kim just did it and they just caught a big whopper on it. So you might want to check it out. It worked very, very well. Rockfish are going full speed in Southern California right now. We got another week. It all closes up on January 1st. So you want to get out there and go rockfish fishing. If you don't have any of the spots, you don't know any spots, you're just dying to go rockfish fishing. Remember, we got a couple of more days of the holiday special. If you want a bunch of really good spots to catch rockfish or catch anything else that swims in Southern California, go to my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, and check out all the great specials we have going on over there. The holiday special, you get all the bundles. It's pretty spectacular. We'll talk about that later in the show. Gang, we're going to talk about something near and dear to our hearts here, whale watching. It's a big industry, believe me. My family and myself, we have a lot of skin in the game, so we have a perfect platform to talk about it on, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, so stay tuned. You want to stay tuned for this talk about because I can't talk about that because I was told to let the adults talk about it. And obviously I'm not an adult, so we're going to stay away from that topic of the rockfish regulations until later on. But gang, remember, we have that contest going on. All you got to do is visit our store at Your Saltwater Guide, the store. Check it out. Just by visiting, that enters you into the contest to win the free trip on bowline sport fishing. We're going to go bluefin tuna fishing. I'm going to be on the boat as a passenger with you. So just go check out our store, Your Saltwater Guide. Click on the store just by entering. Elliot can track who you are. Elliot's a wizard. He's the reason why you see me everywhere. He's my SEO guy. He's my partner. He's my whole thing as far as social media goes. Just by entering our store, we'll know exactly who you are, and that'll enter you into the drawing to win that free trip on bowline sport fishing with Justin Botrell. And I'm going fishing with you, so go check that out. Another thing, gang, from now until January 1st, over on my website, Your Saltwater Guide, fishing reports. You leave a bitchin' fishing report and a picture. That's going to enter you into the contest. We're going to send one lucky winner $100 cash for the best fish report, the best picture. So go over there to the website, Your Saltwater Guide, leave us a report. You can ask all my members. You can ask all my people. We've been giving away stuff for a very long time. We gave $1,000 away to Sean Doyle for leaving a bitchin' report over on Facebook. All you got to do is go to the website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, and leave a report on the fishing reports. And that's going to enter you in to win $100. That'll come in handy. That's almost a quarter of a tank of gasoline in your car. Think about that. And you're sweating, oh, should I spend $9.99 on a website that's going to teach me how to catch fish in Southern California? But you're worried about that, and you can't even get a quarter of a tank of gas for $100. All right. So let's go, gang. Rockfish fish in Southern California is really good. It's Baja Jerky Monday. We always talk about a Baja Jerky product. I've been eating this. My monkey and I have been eating this mango all morning. So I opened the pack of the dried mango up. But what I wanted to talk to you about is the seasonings. Gang, Kelly and I made the most spectacular turkey for Thanksgiving, and we used the Baja Chili Limon seasoning on our turkey. It was incredible. It's making my mouth water just thinking about it. And then if you want to make your street tacos taste even better, put the street taco seasoning in your ground beef. Sprinkle this in there, let it saute in there, and you're not going to believe the flavor you're going to get with this taco seasoning, street taco seasoning. But gang, over at BajaJerky.com, they have a million different things for you over there. Go check it all out. Don't forget the seasonings. Don't forget the Baja Jerky. Don't forget all the different flavors. So check all that out. And let's talk about this whale watching thing, gang. If you don't think this is going to affect us in Southern California, well, you're sadly mistaken. My family, basically, my father was one of the originators of whale watching in the world back in 1967. You can trace back whale watching to 1967. He started whale watching off the end of the San Clemente Pier, taking college students out, then high school students, and now look at it. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And on the East Coast, they're super worried about the northern right whale and their population. Their population has slid down somewhere around 350 total animals on the planet Earth. So they're trying to implement a speed limit out to 100 nautical miles on the East Coast. They want boats to slow down. Any boat over 65 feet in length, they want them to slow down to 10 knots or less. Out to 100 miles. Gang, that's preposterous. There's 350 whales. I love whales. Don't get me wrong. I love whales. I love whale watching. I get to whale watch down here in Mexico all the time, up in Southern California. I love whales. Don't get me wrong when you're listening to me. I love whales. I can't believe we used to hunt whales. That's a mind-boggling thing for me to think about. But gang, to bring the speed limit down to 10 knots or less on the eastern seaboard, and it's going to happen. When they get their teeth into something, they sink their teeth in deep. And like I said about everything on the West Coast, back when the days of the MLP and everything else, I told the guys on the East Coast, get ready. This will affect you. Well, now they're coming for the East Coasters, and they are in a mad panic. Because if they slow this thing down to 10 knots or less, gang, the price of everything is going up, because that's going to slow down movement of all your freight in and out of all these ports on the eastern seaboard. It's going to slow down everything. The sport fishing industry, you might not think it's a big deal, but it represents about $319 billion of tax revenue. You're going to slow down the boats. They're not going to be able to fish. Okay, we can talk about fishing till our heads fall off, but we know that's not a hot subject for a lot of people. But if you start to talk about the price of your roll of toilet paper doubling or tripling because it's going to take another 3 days to get it in there because those freighters have to slow down 100 miles out to sea. Instead of doing 25 or 30 knots, now they have to do 8 or 9 or 10 knots. That's going to slow them down. Think about all of you on a cruise. You're going on your cruise ship. All of a sudden now the cruise ship can't do that 25 or 30 knots. So on your 3-day cruise or your 5-day cruise, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere. They're not going to be able to speed it up. They're not going to get to where they need to go. Gang, this is going to be devastating for everybody. Because we have, on the West Coast, we have California gray whales, and we have humpback whales, and we have blue whales, and we have killer whales, and we have so many marine mammals on the Southern California coast that when they implement this thing on the eastern seaboard, you know they're coming to California. You know that. And the numbers for the California gray whale and the humpback whale are historically better than they've ever been before since they started counting them. And I'm sorry that the right whale's having a rough time back east, but it's not because of people on their boats. It was because they were hunted almost to extinction. And it's a very slow growing whale, and it doesn't do real well like the gray whales and the humpbacks, and it doesn't have all these bitchin' lagoons and stuff on the Mexican seaboard where they can go and they can have their babies and all that stuff. I am sorry that I'm going to be honest, but that's all I really have is my honesty. The right whale, their birthing places are all these major harbors along the eastern seaboard. It's just the way it is. There's no way around it unless you're going to get rid of all the population on the eastern seaboard and open up all these bays and estuaries where all these giant homes are and all these harbors of industry are. If you're not going to get rid of all that, slowing down boats is not going to make a difference for these northern right whales, gang. The reason why the California gray whale and the humpback whale have done so good is because they have Mexico. They have Baja. They have the unpopulated coast of Baja to have their babies and to give birth to their babies and to nurture their babies and then to make that long ride back up the coast. That's why their numbers have exploded. Gang, I am so sorry to be perfectly honest with you. That cannot be happening on the eastern seaboard because you don't have those estuaries and you don't have those bays and lagoons on the eastern seaboard. You just don't. If you look at a map, you did pre-people, before people lived in America, before people came to America. You're not going to get rid of the people. I'm sorry to tell you. And taking my yacht or taking a freighter or a cruise ship and slowing them down to not cause harm to a whale is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard of in my life. Because you got to do, if you're going to do science, you got to do real science. And that's what's being left out. And so what's the easiest thing to attack is the boating community, which is ludicrous. That's absolutely not going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you, to inform you. But if you go and you Google what's going on, you're going to be blown away by how many people think it's a good idea to slow down boats to 10 knots or less, all on the eastern seaboard. That will not fix the population of the northern right whale. If you wanted to fix it, get rid of all the human beings in New York Harbor. Get rid of all the human beings in Rhode Island. Get rid of all the human beings on Long Island. If you could get rid of all that, then maybe those whales would have a chance. But you're not going to do that. And changing and saying that the boats can't, I'm sorry. I love whales, but there's 350 northern right whales left on the planet, and that is not because of boating. That is because of natural habitat that was taken away, and you're not going to change that. You're not going to change it. Those whales aren't coming into these places to have their babies anymore because they hate noise. They're not big time into that noise, and they're not going to go there. I'm sorry if honesty blows your mind and pisses you off and you're like, Dave doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, he does. My family's made a living whale watching since 1971. I have a half a clue of what's going on out there on the water. And I know why the gray whales and the humpback whales have made such a great comeback. I do. But enough. We could talk about this speed limit closure on the East Coast till our heads fall off, but just understand, once they implement it, they're coming to the West Coast. Gang, you got to go 100 miles just to get offshore enough to get out there, just to get out there far enough to actually get to the drop-off. These proposals are going to shut down the bluefin tuna fishery. You guys watch wicked tuna. The time where those guys are catching their most tuna and making their most money, those are the times where they want to shut this fishery down by causing these guys to do less than 10 knots out there. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not going to help the whales in any way, shape, or form. The amount that are being saved by boats slowing down is not going to fix the population. Okay, so here's the deal. So back to rockfish fishing. Let's go to Southern California. Let's go rockfish fishing. Gang, over on my website, I got 1 million spots. I got the greatest spots to catch rockfish. If you go and look at our fish reports, you'll look at people that are going to the same spots that have been fished for years, and they're catching beautiful rockfish right now. There's not a rockfish shortage in Southern California. There's a brain shortage. They're going to shut down this rockfish thing. It's not going to change anything. There'll just be more rockfish than there already is when they open it up. But there's plenty of rockfish if you know how to fish. And if you have the ability to type in your saltwater guide, then you'll never suck at rockfish fishing again, because I have so many spots available for you that you can go to, and you can go there and I teach you exactly how to fish them. And it's all about being on the numbers and dropping your bait down there, or dropping your line down there, or dropping your rock cod squid squirts down there, or whatever you're planning on fishing with, and being actually on top of the fish. There's nothing more fun than dropping on a rockfish spot, and when you hit the bottom, you get bit immediately, and then winding up beautiful rockfish to have for Christmas dinner. That's spectacular. And then out there on the Tanner and the Cortez and inside Clemente, big scores of bluefin the last couple of days. Big scores of bluefin. Would you like to know where those are at? YourSaltwaterGuide.com. We cover offshore, onshore, Channel Islands, up and down the coast. At my website, we cover everything from the Channel Islands to the Mexican border. All the islands, San Clemente, Catalina, Cortez Bank, Tanner Bank, wherever the fish are biting at, the Coronados, Coastal. We cover everything on our game plans that come out every Thursday. Gang, this is the time somebody in your family is hoping and praying that you get them this holiday package from Your Saltwater Guide. Grab it today. Call me, 949-374-0786. You want in on this. You definitely want to be in on this. Also, tonight we have a Zoom meeting. I don't know. Hopefully you all got the email about the Zoom meeting tonight. The Zoom meeting tonight's for everybody. And we're just going to show you one more time how to use the website, how to better yourself on the website. The Zoom meeting, you can ask me any question you want. I'll be available. We're going to kick that thing off tonight at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then we'll be answering all your questions. There'll be a lot of members of the website on the Zoom call. You can ask them questions. We have 3,700 plus members of the website. If it wasn't working, you could Google it, and there'd be a bunch of crybaby negative people on there telling you that don't subscribe to Dave's website. It doesn't work. The only people that don't get anything out of the website are people that actually signed up for the website and then never, ever watched the video. And it's so funny because I see it every day. I had a client 2 days ago, possible client, call me up, wanted to know about it, got to set the 14-day free trial, then called me up a few hours later and said, hey, I'm out here fishing and we're not catching anything. I said, well, did you watch the video on the artificial reef and how to fish the artificial reef? And he's all, yeah, I did. And so are you doing it that way? And he says, yeah, I think so. And I opened it up, and guess what? He had never even opened. He never even opened the website. Gang, just by signing up, that's not going to get you fishing. You have to follow the basics. You have to watch the fundamentals of fishing. I know you already know everything there is to know about fishing, but you might be surprised at what you really don't know. Fundamentals are the most important thing. If you're finding it really hard to catch fish, you may want to look into the fundamentals. And we have 400 plus videos on the fundamentals of fishing in Southern California. It all works together, gang. Like I say all the time, if you make chocolate chip cookies, it's your mom's recipe and you've been eating them that way for 30 years. And then you leave one ingredient out. You leave out the butter. And you, like I told my son the other day, country crock is not butter. You put country crock in there instead of real butter, those cookies are going to taste like crap. Same thing if you go fishing and you just put on the wrong size hook when you're fishing the artificial reefs. Look at John Stanley and his girlfriend. They go out almost every weekend and they go fish the artificial reefs. Or look at Kim and Dan. They go out all the time. Or Daryl. They go out all the time and they follow the simple game plan because they don't want to suck when they get out there. And they go out there and they execute it exactly how I say, with the small hook, light lines, sliding sinker, chum bucket, the whole thing. They can't keep the fish off their line. So do yourself a favor and jump over there, or somebody in your family. People are asking you, what can I get you for Christmas? A membership to Dave's website would be cool, so I don't have to suck at fishing anymore. I'm tired of eating my boogers. I don't want to eat boogers anymore. I want to eat fresh fish every night. Check out my website, Your Saltwater Guide. Check out the rockfish. Get out there. Let's catch some rockfish in the next week and a half before they close it for 4 months. Or 3 months, excuse me. All right? So check that out. Go to my website. Check out the holiday special. If any of this makes sense, or if you want to be better informed on what's going on, call me at 949-374-0786. And we'll get this Zoom meeting out to anybody that wants it. Email me at yoursaltwaterguide@yahoo.com. And I can forward you the Zoom meeting. Yoursaltwaterguide@yahoo.com. I'll forward you the Zoom meeting. The more the merrier tonight. Let's make it a big meeting. Let's get everybody, all the members, let's get you on there. Let's get everybody involved in this so we can help everybody to be better fishermen. Pay attention to this closure back east. It matters. It's going to affect all of us. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the show. I was all over the place, but I tried to do my best. Don't forget to go to Baja Jerky. Type in the code YSWG. You're going to save 30% on your order. The seasoning salts are insane, along with all the different flavors. BajaJerky.com. The code YSWG and the number 30. Save 30%. Get it drop shipped straight to your house. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll be here with you tomorrow. Bye. See ya. See ya. Come on. What happened? We're still going live. Hey. Come on. Can't get it to turn off. Silly thing. Come on. I don't know. There we go. We're getting close.